Oh, there we go. Sound. See? Don't get old, family. The shit sucks. What's up, family? It's your man, Mark Black. Hey, so, first of all, I want to say, happy soon birthday to me as of January 25th. Tomorrow at 11:15 a.m., I will officially be 46 of the damnedest, all right? And nobody could be happier about that than me. Shout out to Little Fat. Thank you for giving a brother life. Shout out to Ken. Thank you for giving a brother life. I want to say that I'm grateful for my parents. I want to say that I'm grateful for all of you, for my family. Life has been good as fuck to me. And so what I'm going to do today with you, family, is we're going to chop it up. I'm going to share some lessons because that's a gift that I give to myself. Every year I share lessons that I've learned from the year previous, right? That's the gift that keeps on giving. And there was a lot of stuff that I learned this year. Some of it, not what I wanted, but a lot of it, some good stuff, right? So I just wanted to share, those lessons with the family. We could chop it up. I could tell you a little bit about what some of my plans are moving forward in 2019 in my 46th year. And then, what I'm saying, I'll let you motherfuckers go back to enjoying the rest of your day, all right? And thank you again for your support. By the way, if you haven't done so, please make sure that you hit me with a thumbs up. Or if you feel like hating the day, hit me with a thumbs down. I don't give a damn. Thank you so much, Jazz. I appreciate that. Happy birthday to me. Like I said, 46 of the damnedest. And it seems like every year just keeps getting better and better and better. Also, too, if you want to throw a little birthday coin your brother's way, here's the link to make sure you do that. I don't have any AdSense crap, no Patreons, no things like that, right? So if you could throw a few spare coins your brother's way, that'd be great. So let's get right into it. Now, those of you like Sister Jazz here, Miss Diddy, and others who have followed me on YouTube for quite some time know that I've been on YouTube for like the last 3 years, right? Basically got into it like in 2015, December of 2015, shortly before my birthday of 2016. And believe it or not, a lot of the stuff that I've learned over the last few years, I've learned here on YouTube, strangely enough. Who says you can't learn something from YouTube? You know what I'm saying? I watch YouTube videos every day. When I get off this motherfucker, I go YouTube surfing. Y'all know how it is. Jazz, I'm certain you've done it, right? Where you get, you click on a video and that leads you to another video and it leads you to another. That's okay, sister. But you know what I'm talking about. Miss Diddy know what I'm talking about too. She loves YouTube surfing too as well. So I've learned a lot on YouTube. But the lessons I'm going to talk about aren't specifically from YouTube. I'm mentioning YouTube because this is my platform. But one of the big lessons that I learned from this year is that it is okay to let people go who you may have maneuvered past or outgrown or something like that. And what I mean by that is essentially simple, right? We have interactions with people that are on their face really positive. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but Jazz, this show does eat up so much time, but it's so much fun. But one thing that I learned this year is that with growth, sometimes there are people that you just simply can't continue to walk along the same path with. You either get ahead of them or they take a side turn or something like that. Salute to you, brother CRU. Welcome to the broadcast. And believe it or not, you would think that I would have learned that long before now. But for those of you who are familiar with my upbringing, right, the abusive upbringing that I experienced in a lot of ways, one of the side effects of that upbringing is that I was basically a really needy individual. Now, I don't mean needy in the sense that, I had to have everybody doing something for me. It's just that I became like this people pleaser. You know what I'm saying? Because I just wanted to be loved. I just wanted to be respected. I just wanted to be cared for. that I was willing to be a doormat to pretty much anybody. If you smiled at me or said a kind word to me, that was all it took for me to love you. And it was like that for me for many, many years. And so as I got therapy and stuff like that, as I started to grow past some of the wounds that I had taken, the really interesting thing about that was that I started realizing that there were people that I had long-term relationships with that were falling off. And at first it threw me for a loop. You know, I was just like, wait a minute. Like, you know, these people claim that they love me, right? So if they seeing me grow, if they seeing me learn better, do better, feel better, why aren't they on board with that? But then I realized something, family. There's a lot of motherfuckers in your life. And this is going to be true talk today. Like, there's no bullshit. I ain't throwing no shade, but I'm going to tell the straight up truth. There's a lot of folk in your life today, family, who are there to predate upon you, right? To parasitize you. Let me explain a little bit about what I mean. Everybody got this person in their life that as long as you doing bad, right? When you struggling and you having it harder than a motherfucker, they there like Johnny on the spot, right? Always extending the hand of, you know, hey, can I do something for you? Can I help you out? You know what I'm saying? Don't worry, bro, I got you. Don't worry, sis, I got you, right? But strangely enough, once you turn that corner, because a lot of times we forget when we in bad times that they don't last, right? All of a sudden, these people, you can't find them, right? So you start to do better, right? You got back up on your feet. Maybe you was homeless and you got you a new crib, or you know you may have been struggling with some issue that you finally found a resolution to, right? And so you starting to heal and you starting to growth. And then all of a sudden, this person's distant. This person's not available. This person's off doing other shit. And you sitting there thinking to yourself like, damn, like, you know, now I'm doing well, you know what I'm saying? And I want to share my joy with you, you know. But they pushing you back. They keeping you back. Those are people that get their growth or their jollies off on your struggling, right? They're doing well to the extent that you are not. So once you start doing well for yourself, right? Once you start feeling your oats, once you wake up juiced every morning to get up and go do whatever it is that you do, they can't fuck with you. Because it reminds them of one very important thing. That they have just as much responsibility to build the life that they want for themselves as you do for you. See, they can ride with you because, you know what I'm saying, you're less than to them. Look at this motherfucker, man. Every time I see him, you know, he's going through some shit. You know what I'm saying? And I always got to come in there and save him. You know, constantly doing this, patting themselves on the back for rescuing you, uplifting you, saving you. Ain't nothing wrong with it, Cease. Brother, you know I gets down in the kitchen. Get your motherfucking cook on. Matter of fact, nigga, what you cooking? Share the recipe. Share the love. But family, there's a lot of motherfuckers in our lives that we think are on the team that are simply there to feed on us. Whether directly, just straight up getting us, bopping us, you know what I'm saying, predating upon us, or that they're parasitizing us, right? Leeching off of us, stealing our joy, stealing our opportunities for growth, stealing our chance to be happy, to maintain their happy. So part of what happens when you start walking your own way, when you start moving down your own path, oh, damn, Cease, you a cold piece right now, man. I'm hungry than a motherfucker. Seriously, man, I'm so hungry right now, my stomach is wondering if my throat been cut. You feel me? So that I'm forgive me if I'm damn, he said fried chicken and mac and cheese. I can't even concentrate at this point. That's some bullshit. So, family, once you start making those changes in your life, right? Once you start growing, you see what I'm saying? You start developing, you start moving, you start evolving. You find that those people that are there parasitizing off of you, that are predating upon you, they can't continue to do that. Because as you become better for yourself, you become stronger. You become less vulnerable. You become less likely to be able to be attacked or be used up. And so these people start falling off. Well, Mark Black is here to tell you that that's okay. It's okay for those people to fall back. You want those people to fall back. What you want is you want people to surround your motherfucking self, to surround you. You want people that are going to surround you with the best of what makes you you. And you also want people that will let you make the best of them. Because one of the other lessons that I learned this year was how so few people crave truth and accountability. Family, let's keep it a buck, all right? One of the things that we black folk is known for is the blame game. It don't matter what the circumstance or the situation is. We're going to find a way to indulge in one of our favorite pastimes, right? The blame game. We're going to see a situation, all right? And where other people are driven to action, right? To resolve the situation. Black people fall back and point fingers. Ah, you bitches ain't shit. You niggas ain't shit. Them motherfuckers ain't shit. They just ignorant. They stupid. They dumb. They don't understand. You know, right? And what I found, especially in this last year, is that avoidance of the truth of matters and being held accountable for the motherfucking truth is in short motherfucking supply, family. Short supply. And it's a sadness. It's truly a sadness. Because, strangely enough, I found in my 46 years on this planet Earth that the closer I align myself with the truth of matters, the easier my life goes. Right? Think of reality sort of like water. All right? If you work with reality, right? Stroke, stroke, stroke. You can get anywhere you need to go. Reality will buoy you up. It'll buoy you up. And it'll make your way smooth. But if you try to run through reality and act like it don't exist, reality becomes like a concrete wall. Just like if you were to fall off of a cliff into a body of water from 75 feet up, it would break your motherfucking back. We consistently avoid truth, avoid, excuse me, avoid truth, avoid reality, avoid accountability. And then we wonder why our lives are so hard. Y'all niggas ain't shit talking about food in the chat today, goddammit. I'm just telling you. Cease, I'm telling you, man, you need to go ahead and hook me up with some of them motherfucking burnt ends. I'm from KC, so you know I know good barbecue. You gonna have to make that crack, bruh. I'm gonna need to test your bona fides, so to speak. But yeah, family, one of the sad lessons I learned this year is that the the lack of accountability, the lack of adherence to reality, to just simple understanding of what is that is. Man, it's a bugbear out here. I mean, you got people who lie so motherfucking much that they lie even when they ain't even no need to lie. You feel me? Like, they'll tell lies about shit that you just look at them and be like, but we already know the truth on that. You didn't even need to lie about that. Because denial of reality, lying, has become habitual for many, many folk. Lying about their status, lying about their resources, lying about the reality in which they have to navigate and maneuver. We black people spend so much motherfucking energy just denying the truth of matters that if we had put the same energy into understanding the truth and aligning ourselves with the truth, we'd actually resolve a hell of a lot more problems. But telling falsehood, right? Being lying with every word that comes out of your mouth, lying with every action you take has become endemic. You got people living above their means simply because they got a job that gives them a check every 2 weeks with more than 2 zeros on it. People out here high-siding like they balling out of control while they tens of thousands of dollars in student loan debt, credit card debt, car notes. If niggas is lucky to get mortgages, they getting taxed. So they got a nice house, but most of their check is going to pay for the motherfucking house. We lie in every goddamn thing we do. We lie in the way we dress. We lie in the food we go to the store and pick up. Instead of being satisfied with some well-done chicken, niggas gotta try to eat steak every motherfucking day. And Jazz is right. Jazz said people generally don't like admitting the truth if it makes them feel uncomfortable or bruises their ego. Facts. Facts. But see, the sick part about it is, family, is truth don't give a fuck about your ego. It don't give a fuck about your feelings. Reality is what reality is. Your only hope of navigating this life, I can tell you after 46 years of experience, is aligning yourself with the reality of matters. Stop trying to swim against the current. Stop trying to belly flop against reality. It ain't gonna work. All you're gonna do is fuck yourself up, and reality is still gonna be reality. Water is still gonna be wet and water, and your ass is gonna be fucked up behind it. So we gotta get out of that. We gotta get out of this lack of accountability, this desire to just be right all the motherfucking time. Man, I made so many mistakes in this life that if I was to spend my time recounting them all, this broadcast would be hours. But I'm grateful for every fucking mistake I've ever made. Why? Because I learned from those mistakes. I have failed and tried and failed and tried and failed and tried. But I keep fucking trying. I don't sit here and lie to myself about my failures, about my mistakes, about my bad choices. I take ownership of them shits and I learn whatever I can from them so that I can make my way smooth moving forward the next time. I take a look at reality. I observe reality, not with any intent to judge it. Thank you, Dave. I appreciate the birthday wishes, and I really appreciate you. Thank you, and welcome to the broadcast. I observe reality not with a sense to judge it, but simply to understand it. We got people that see the tiniest little piece of reality, and the first thing they do is, instead of taking and putting that datum into the data bank, they make snap judgments about it and then issue these blanket statements or commit these random ass actions, and then they wonder why shit falls flat. We got to get out of that, family. We got to get out of this denial of reality. It serves us in no good stead. No good stead. Here's a lesson that I learned this year. I learned that your greatest allies can be found in some of the most unlikely places. You can see a smile on my face. That's because this is a good lesson. There are many, including myself, who posit that the trials and tribulations that we face under racism, white supremacy, whiteism is equivalent to a war. We tell other black folk that we need to organize, that we need to fight against our historic and current enemies. But one thing I think sometimes we lose sight of is that in every war, each side is going to have its partisans, its proponents, right? The people that support the war effort. And I have been truly blessed to have found some magnificent allies in my war effort. Shout out to Sister Jazz. Shout out to Miss Denny. Shout out to my brother King, who for some reason hasn't made that transition over here as of yet. Right? These unlikely allies that when I was going through the thick of the shit that I faced as a member of the conscious, woke, pro-black community, never wavered. Never once wavered. Never once denied the validity of the work that I've done. Never once demeaned my character. Never once tried to squelch my voice. I didn't see them coming. I had no clue that they would be my allies. But they were. They saw something in me. They see something in me that resonates with them, that speaks to them, that they desire to see more of, to uplift, to uphold, to fight for. And family, I got to tell you, that shit warms my heart like you would not believe. Right now, where you sitting, no matter how hard the struggles might be, no matter how difficult shit look like, no matter how tired you get as a soldier in this war for our very existence, there's somebody that you haven't seen who's an ally to you. There's somebody standing right there, seeing everything that's going on, waiting for you to turn to them and give them the opportunity to have your back, to fight for you. So many of us are hurt, battered, bruised. I mean, I didn't get these gray hairs for nothing, right? The older we get, the harder it is to bear sometimes the shit of this world. But I can tell you for a certainty, having good-ass friends, family, and allies makes all the difference. And I, your brother, am fortunate to say that I have that. I have found the most unlikely motley band of allies a brother can have, and God damn it, I'm grateful for each and every last one of them. This year, I learned, keep your eyes open, keep your head up, keep your heart uncalloused. Otherwise, you might push away somebody who's been waiting for an opportunity to be in your corner. Brothers especially, I want to give this message out to you. Because one of the lessons that I learned this year, and it's a very painful one, is just how hard it is to be a black man in this country. I'm not going to lie to you. I done been through the motherfucking ringer, brothers. I surely have. But the strange part about that is that intellectually, I knew that other brothers go through the same shit that I gone through. But it always felt like I was going through it by myself. So I didn't think that any other brothers would be facing the same shit that I'm facing. Right? The issues you having with your baby mama and you know, court drama and child support. Issues with trying to find new relationships and make them work when you fearful of getting ran through the ringer again. You know, just the general fuckery. Jazz, I know. It just, you know me, I'm slow on the uptake. You know, I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed. Some days I feel about as sharp as a bowling ball. This year, though, I had no choice, Jazz. I don't think it's so much I learned that this year. It's just that this year has brought it home to me, right? Jazz, you familiar with my evolution to become the Mark Black I am today. You know that was triggered by the death of our brother Trayvon back in 2013, 2014, right? 2014. I was outraged at the loss of this young brother. And that got me on a path that led me directly to where I am today. But prior to that, there was still fuckery going on. I just had justifications for it. I was oblivious to some of it and had justifications for the rest of it. Thank you, Christine. I appreciate the well wishes. And thank you, Cease, for that. I try my best, brother, not to be the dullest. Jazz, I had no choice. This year was the opportunity, the chance that I had to take a look at the work of one of the greatest modern day scholars that we have in the academy, Dr. Tommy Curry. Shout out to you, brother, who wrote The Man Not. Reading that book was like beating yourself in the leg with a baseball bat. It was painful as fuck. First of all, if you don't own the book, buy it. Support your brother, all right? Second of all, understand this. The book is written to an academic audience. So there are terms that you are going to have to bone up on to understand what's happening, what he's writing about. Because it is an academic and intellectual treatise that talks about the erasure of black maleness from the sphere of life in every area. And this brother breaks it down academically. He goes all the way throughout history to show the process and the processes involved in the social murder, right? The cultural debts of our brothers. So reading his book opened my eyes to a lot of shit that I just simply didn't pay attention to before. Listening to brothers who were trying to build forums that weren't necessarily about bashing the sisters, but about uplifting the brothers, and watch them get attacked on a constant motherfucking basis just because they opened their mouths. Just because they said, I don't want to worship you anymore. I have issues with the treatment I'm receiving at your hands, and watching them be shut down, be attacked, be belittled, be disrespected, be demeaned. Brothers, I see it, man. I see it. And I want you to understand that you are not by yourself in this thing. It appears as if every group of human beings in this country have a vested interest in the demise of you, my brother, of me, my brother. But I want you to understand one very important motherfucking thing. Just one, right? Our anger ain't gonna carry the day. Our outrage ain't gonna carry the day. We have been completely dehumanized. Nobody gives a fuck about what we feel. Our being men and doing what we do best, which is action, is what's gonna carry us through. Peace, Elias. Welcome to the broadcast, sir. And I hear you. That's facts. I no longer worship my sisters. I have quite a few issues with them, as a matter of fact. But I still love them. Jazz said, at what point do we look at the bigger picture and understand that all the chaos we experience is due to the demonic system we live under, and stop bashing each other? That's a good point to note. That's a very good point to note. And as you well know, Jazz, that was basically my MO, right? Was, hey, it's larger than just us. Hey, Christine, oh, you said, hey, chat. Oh, y'all show some love to Christine. She said, what's up to everybody, right? Ain't nobody gave her no shouts back. You know what I'm saying? The problem, Jazz, that I have currently, all right? And I say currently because unlike some, I do believe the dynamic can change. I just understand that the dynamic is what it is that it's a little hard for us to come together currently to fix the problem, because we have one portion of us who are incentivized to continue the problem, right? That was the turning point for me, Jazz, was understanding that it's not just enough for us to say that black men this or black women that, black this. Jazz, let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. But I want to make sure we give it the justice it deserves. Please hit me up. I would love to do a broadcast on that. Because I would actually argue at this particular point that black women don't have as much of a legitimate gripe as we all have been led to believe. They are more vocal. They have more outlets to air out what it is that they feel like is on their chest. So we hear what they think their gripes are. But are those gripes really speaking to the reality of the black male action and experience in this country? I would have to argue no. And if these so-called legitimate gripes that the sisters have aren't reflecting the reality of not just the behavior, but the experience of the black males in which they're directing their gripes, then that's a motherfucking problem, because people are developing policies. They're building institutions. They're getting funding. And again, Jazz, you know me and you, we can have that discussion all day long, all right? We cool on that. But I will say that evidence for me tends to suggest that it's difficult to ask for a sealing of the breach when you have a group incentivized a group that's incentivized to basically to make sure that the breach continues. I remember, Jazz, I was doing some research, right? Looking at the racial wealth gap, because you know I'm a big, huge fan of Sister Yvette Carnell, you know, Brother Tone Talks, right? And so, you know, they got me on the whole DOS thing and looking at politics in a new and different way, looking at racial justice and so on and so forth, right? And so I was doing some research and I came across something that completely floored me. There's a lot of women who talk about the income gap or the wage gap between men and women, right? And yes, there is a gap between what white men make and what everybody else make. So if white man is the dollar, right? Becky Ann is like, woo, 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 woo. Officer Faulkner in the house. I'm going to let y'all come in here in a bit. I ain't going to do no heavy duty chopping today. It's a celebration and me just sharing some of the lessons that I learned from my life. But you definitely are welcome. So if Brad is $1, Jazz, Becky Ann is like 67 cents. The black man is like, at least from what was the number I saw? The number was like 54 cents or something like that. Where do you think the black woman was compared to Brad? I'm just asking, where do you think her wage gap was relative to him? Because yes, Brad makes more than everybody. Brad gets the buck, all right? Everybody else falls behind him. Thank you, Elias, for the well wishes. I appreciate that. It fucked me up to find that the sister is on par with Becky Ann. There's like 0.3 of a cent difference. So where Becky Ann is like 67 cents, the sisters is like 66.7. Yeah, I can explain what I mean by incentivized, Jazz. When you see the growth, the rise of a particular demographic, and you can directly correlate the rise of that particular demographic with the demise of another demographic, that this rising demographic has a direct connection to, you have to look for the connections. So what do I mean by incentivized? What I mean is that the greater society at large has given, to a great extent, the primacy of place of black people to the black woman. She's the one who's getting the most educational opportunities and allowed to pursue those educational opportunities in peace, whereas black males are getting the school to prison pipeline. Black women are imprisoned at a rate roughly about the same as white males, right? So about 100 or so per 100,000. Black males are incarcerated at a rate of almost 10,000 per 100,000. Black women have greater opportunities in the job market. They're being employed at larger rates than black males are. The only reason why you can say that black males make more than black women currently at this point is because they're not counting the brothers making slave wages in prison. If you account for those brothers in local, state, and federal prisons that are working for slave wages, we couldn't even hold a candle to the wages that sisters is making. Even now, with all of the changes that have been made to entitlement programs, sisters are still being incentivized to utilize entitlement programs as long as they're not constituting whole and intact families. That's what I mean by incentivizing. This doesn't mean that sisters have to take advantage of it. But I argue that based off of the dynamic between us, you can see that they have. And it's unfortunate. It doesn't need to be that way. But more fool me if I deny that that's the reality of the matter. Everybody in this country now, at this particular point, Christine, you say, okay, knowing this, how is that helping us when we have more important issues? I am sorry to tell you, but until we can stop trying to eliminate and remove the black man from life itself, there are no more important issues than that. Jazz, I would hope that it was clear, right? Incentivized means that the greater society at large has offered incentives for black females to engage in behaviors that cause the demise and the diminishing of the black male. There's a whole, I mean, I don't want to make this broadcast that broadcast, but there's a whole host of ways that it's done that sisters are taking advantage of every day. That's just facts. If you look at every objective standard, your brothers is on the bottom. So tell me again where it is that we're working together as a collective when you have one of us that to a certain degree is prospering and the other one is being pounded into the fucking dirt. And then every time you look and you say, hey, wait a minute, sisters, brothers is over here. We getting screwed up over here. We getting fucked up. Shut up, nigga. Ain't nobody want to hear from you. Our voices are squelched. Our lips are sewn shut. You got brothers dying every day who think that they're the only ones going through the shit they going through. And when we turn to the other half of our ethnic group for empathy, for compassion, for respect, for care, for concern, and again, I'm talking in general, so I don't want to make this an individual issue. It's just like whiteism. It is a collective team fucking sport. So I'm talking in generalities. If the shoe don't fit you, don't put it on. But generally speaking, nowadays we don't even need much motherfucking help from white people to diminish the black man. We have enough black women out there working to diminish the black man and their acolytes. And anybody who actually looks at this thing somewhat objectively, right? Take your feelings out of it and just look at the data. By every objective standard, black men are being fucked over 3 ways to Sunday. And it's funny when sisters say, hey, try and understand what my life is like. Everybody's on board with that. Everybody, including black men, by the way. Everybody's on board with looking at the black woman's life and examining the problems that black women are facing. They have forums every motherfucking where. All of our old traditional black media essentially is female black media. Jet Magazine, Ebony, Sure, the brothers had stuff like Black Enterprise magazine and so on and so forth, but all of our old traditional black media has been basically dominated by women's issues, women's shit, women's everything. The greatest media personality, black media personality in modern times was a female, Oprah Winfrey, right? Whenever it comes to trying to argue about the needs of black women and children and looking at them and their existence and their circumstances, even amongst the so-called liberal pale people, you have outlets. You have places that are safe places. You have a whole host, a whole range of resources that you could get access to. Right now, if a sister was being abused by any man, regardless of whether she was with a black man, white man, any man, a sister has huge amounts of fucking resources that she could depend on. She could get assistance to get out of that household. She could get transitional living in a secure domestic violence facility. There are over 2,000 domestic violence facilities in the United States. 2,000. Ask yourself this. The data, when you look at it, especially in our community, right? Fuck everybody else. I'm just talking about black folk, right? This will give you an example of what I'm talking about. The data, when you look at black folk, tends to suggest that domestic violence or intimate partner violence is bidirectional, meaning that we're committing intimate partner violence on each other at roughly the same rate. Men are slightly above black women at like 2 or 3%. Now ask yourself, how many homeless or how many domestic violence shelters do they have that if I'm being abused by my woman, my kids is getting fucked up, I'm having to sit here and drink like a pufferfish every day before I come in my house because I'm afraid to walk in the door. Ask yourself, how many places accept me? And if I want to protect my kids, take my kids, how many places will take me in and take me with my kids as a man? One. There is one male accepting domestic violence shelter in Arkansas. One. That's just one thing that I can point to. And again, Jazz, don't get it twisted. I am not saying that anybody needs to take advantage. Christine said, who owns these media outlets? Not black women. So what? That ain't never stopped black people from adopting or believing or accepting or jumping on board anything. The fact of who owns it is fucking material. It's immaterial. Because as long as they're saying the things that you believe, as long as they're confirming your bias, it doesn't matter who owns it. So what that the liberal pale stream media is owned by white folks? If they constantly coming on with media barrages talking about the black man as rapist, monster, abuser, child killer, and so on and so forth, and you already have a confirmation bias in your head that tells you your brothers are that, then what does it matter if they own that? They're telling you what you want to hear. Facts, Officer Faulkner. She said in actuality it's 80-20 for the men because the fact that men don't usually call the police when it comes to domestic violence. Look, I shared with y'all a story, but I'll share it again. When I was with my kid's mom, right? My little daughter, my firstborn, was a baby. She got mad at me one day and she jumped up in my face. And I didn't want to fight with her or nothing. I didn't want to tag her. I didn't want to do shit. Right? I just wanted her to shut the fuck up and leave me alone. So I told her, I said, look, I ain't trying to fight with you. Why don't you, just go ahead, man, and step off. She punched me in my motherfucking face. Then took her hands like this and grabbed my forearms and raked her nails down my forearms. I still got the scars on the back of my arms and hands to prove it. And then she pushed me. And then she tried to hit me with a motherfucking telephone. You know, back in the day when we had telephones that plugged into the wall and shit, right? So you know what she did then? She called the motherfucking police. So Johnny Law shows up. I'm sitting in the same motherfucking place where she attacked me. I hadn't moved an inch, not a muscle. And they came in and they say, Mr. Black, tell us what's going on. So I ran it down. What happened? They had her in a separate room. The officer looked at my face. I didn't know it at the time, but she was wearing the ring I gave her. And so when she hit me in the face, it cut my face. And they saw the blood on my arms. And I'll be goddamned if they didn't arrest her ass. Christine, we'll talk about it. We'll talk about that as soon as I finish my piece. They took her ass to jail for domestic violence. I was floored. I didn't even think women could go to jail for that shit. Matter of fact, I had told them I'm ready to go to jail. I put my arms out like this. You know how, brothers, you know what I'm talking about when you make the move like, go ahead and cuff me, officer. I'm not going to resist, right? I'm fully expecting to go to jail. And they took her ass to jail. All right. So now she's been arrested for domestic violence that she committed against me. I go to the court clerk to try to file an order of protection, a restraining order against her, because I'm done with this shit. I don't want to be a part of nothing. No more violence, no more fuckery. All right? When I went down there to the court clerk's office, it was filled with women and children. There was not a single man in there. Not one, except for me. And the line was out the door. All right? So my turn comes to go in to see the court clerk. I walk in. There she is sitting behind the desk. And she says, Mr. Black, how can I help you? I said, yeah. I'm here to file an order of protection against my girlfriend who was arrested for committing domestic violence on me. You know, the court clerk laughed at me. The officer in the motherfucking court laughed in my face because I told her that I wanted to file an order of protection against a woman. No bullshit. I wish I could tell you that that was all of the fuckery that occurred in this incident. But it actually gets worse from there. So she gets out of jail. Her folks bail her out. All right, so she's out of jail. Meanwhile, they came and stole my daughter from me from the babysitter because I was working, right? And my baby was a baby. She was a youngling. So I had a friend of mine who was willing to babysit her, who they knew about. And while I was at work, they came and took my baby away. So now I don't got my daughter, right? So we have the hearing. And my stupid black ass walked up in the court like I just knew justice was mine. It was me. Me. Walking up in the court. Shout out to the elder BGS. Welcome to the broadcast. So in this courtroom, this family courtroom, I'm on one side of the court by myself. Whole side. Like there's row after row. Big ass courtroom. It's just me. Over on her side is her folks, all of our so-called friends, and a whole bunch of other motherfuckers I didn't even know nothing about. So she gets up on the stand and she starts boo-hooing and claiming that I did this and I did that. And I was just like, Your Honor, like you have the police report right here. Like here's the photos right here. Here's the evidence. I'm not trying to see this motherfucker locked up But I'm done with her and I need protection to keep her ass away from me. That's all I want. I want to be able to have my kid and some motherfucking peace. Y'all want to know what happened next? Do y'all want to know what happened next? This is a wild shit. It still fucks me up to this day. So, the judge ruled that I get an order of protection. They also gave her one against me. They also gave her custody of my daughter. They also gave her our apartment. Told me I had 30 days to move. And they gave me visitation with my daughter once every 2 weeks on Sunday, court supervised. Now, any of you who know the law understands that the only time the court usually demands supervision for visitation is if the parent might be perceived as a threat to the child. I was the victim and had every motherfucking thing possible taken away from me. Everything. Now, I can smile about it now, right? But that shit fucked me up for years. The thing that really gets me, though, is that my story ain't even a story. That's nothing. That happens every single day. All over the country. Everywhere. It ain't just to black men at this point. It happens to every man pretty much. But black men are almost guaranteed that if they get involved in that path, walking down that road, it's going to be some fuckery involved. Let me go back up here and read some of these contents. These comments here. So Christine said, what do you expect media to do? What have they done for years but work to make black men and women look like animals? Tell me something, Christine. What media outlet can portray black women as animals? No, Christine, I'm not bitter. Not at all. Like I said, I've had my time to make my peace with what occurred and so on and so forth. Am I outraged by it? Absolutely. But bitter? Not at all. Not at all. But I would like for you to answer that question for me. Point to me any type of, even if it's alternative media, right? Where you can make a black woman look like a goddamn animal and be rewarded for it. Because the last time I checked, the only motherfuckers that can do that and get away with it is other black people. I don't see white folks making movies out there making black women look like monsters. One of the craziest movies I saw that involved a lot of black female shit was Precious, right? Who was it that did Precious? Wasn't that a black person? That was Lee Daniels, I believe. Am I correct? You feel me? The only people I see in the media that can do anything that might even remotely shade black women is black people. And even then, it's few and far between. For every Precious, we got 9,000 baby boys and boys in the hood and so on and so forth. You know. We got Tyler Perry making movies talking about why did I get married where the dudes is cheating and assholes and the women are long-suffering, Lord. Like, tell me where reality TV, Jazz? Look, reality TV ain't making black women look like monsters and savages. Reality TV is just that. It's reality. If you go on a TV show and you act like a wild, untamed, savage banshee, they ain't making you look like that. You're just looking like that. There is no respectable media outlet anywhere that can actually demean black women today without there being some pushback. Matter of fact, most times in media now, they look for positive messages to say about black women, right? The black girl magic thing. And you remember the girls that were kidnapped by Boko Haram over in Nigeria? And everybody over in this motherfucker was like, bring back our girls. Of course they get paid, Jazz, but what I'm saying is, yeah, you getting paid, but you don't have to sell out for that. Right? If somebody's offering to pay me to suck their dick in the Macy's Day Parade, they can offer that to me, but that don't mean I have to fucking do it. So how is that being fake if you paying me and I choose to do it? Boko Haram kidnaps these girls and takes them away. And the whole world is outraged over these little black girls. And they should be. I'm not saying anything ill. They should have been, right? But what about the hundreds of male students that Boko Haram did not kidnap, but killed? Burned alive in a lot of instances. Beheaded, shot down, hundreds of them, thousands of them. Where was the motherfucking outrage for that? Where was the outrage over all those little black boy students, you know what I'm saying, who was getting done up by Boko Haram for years before they kidnapped those girls? I agree. Bring back our motherfucking girls. That's some bullshit. Oh, most definitely. Christine, look, you won't hear, first of all, I don't watch reality TV. I don't even watch TV like that. So what idiots is doing for money these days, I don't have no say on. Black people have sold themselves for sometimes the equivalent of pots and beads. That's facts. When you got the poorest motherfucking ethnic group in the country, people gonna do that shit. I wasn't the one who brought up reality TV. And I want y'all to understand something, by the way, sisters. I'm not talking about this because I have hatred. I'm not talking about this because I think y'all ain't shit. I'm talking about this because if I don't talk about it, it doesn't get talked about. Black male voices who try and talk about the real black male experience are shamed out, squelched out, ran off, and otherwise shut the fuck up on every platform. Whether it's the pale stream media, whether it's alternative media, whether it's social media. God forbid that I might want to get up here and actually not be held by the caricatures, the motherfucking caricatures, the pictures of me that everybody's got in their head, that I want to be actually defined by my real experience, the reality of my existence. No, fuck that. We can't have that. We can't have brothers telling the truth about what black masculinity is. No. We need to keep up the caricature, the narrative that they're nothing but brown-skinned white hegemons. When that couldn't even be further from the motherfucking truth. That's what I'm saying. I'm not responsible for what any other brother says on this topic. One thing I love about the black manosphere is if you want smoke, there's smoke. If you want dissing, there's dissing. But if you want discourse, there's discourse. But one thing is for certain, we all share the same motherfucking passion that we can't move forward as a people until we fix this shit. There is no other problem that's bigger than the erasure of your brothers off of the stage of life. The literal social murder, which leads ultimately to our physical demise. Why is it that in the black community, the only time we can actually publicly come out together as groups and honor a black male is when his ass turns to meat? When we're eulogizing him. Family, we're here today to pay homage to the memory of brother so-and-so. He was a good brother. He worked at this factory for 30 years and took care of his family. He was a good little utility. We sure will miss him. The only time it seemed like America give any fuck about the reality of the black male experience is when we're fucking dead. I speak on it because if I don't speak on it, nobody will, including sisters. Because y'all got y'all's own shit to talk about, whatever the hell that is. We do have a lot of division. We have a shit ton of division. And Jazz, thank you for saying that. And I've Jazz, that was one thing that I knew you would understand. Right? I am definitely not about being disrespectful, but I am going to be honest. And the honest fact of the matter is that if you include this the incentivizing of one portion of our ethnic demographic in the fight to diminish the other half of the demographic, how the hell are we supposed to ever come together and do anything? That's the question I have. Brother BGS spoke truth. Black men are forced to the bottom. And you can say whatever you like, ladies. This ain't about you as individuals. This shit is a team sport. And your sisters as a collective are firmly and fully on board with pushing my black ass to the bottom. Otherwise, this little primacy of place that you seem to have been given in the greater culture at large, you would be using for the edification and the uplift of both of us. As opposed to just shining yourself and shouting black girl magic at every motherfucking turn. As if y'all doing it all y'allself. As if brothers ain't out here sacrificing for you, breaking their backs for you, putting up with shit off of you. If you have a single complaint about any black man in your presence, he don't even have to be somebody you fucking. Just a black man in your presence. There are outlets upon outlets upon outlets that are waiting to put a mic in your face to let you get your shit off. This nigga, I was sitting next to him on the bus and he had his legs open like he owned the whole seat. As if you forgot we got testicles down there or something. Jazz, I feel you. My fight is not just for me. My fight is for your son too. Because Jazz, I'm telling you, this whole country now, everywhere in Fortress America, everybody is incentivized to see your beautiful black son be gone. And I will not stand for it. And as long as I got a big ass mouth and know how to fuck to use it, I'm going to speak for him. Christine, that's facts. First of all, I'm not going to sit here and say not all women are like that. I shouldn't have to. I'm speaking in generalities. But yeah, you're absolutely right. And I know that you're not the only one that's doing that type of shit. My sister, Miss Denny, has a blog, The Black Honey Badger, right? Where she does nothing but defend her brothers. But BGS told the facts. At this particular point, y'all are more our competition than y'all are our allies. Y'all's growth now has become tied to the diminishing of your brothers. And you sit here and deny it. And you know what you sound like and what you look like when you deny what brothers is saying? You sound and look just like white folks when they deny and deflect the fact that we're talking about whiteism. But the black man is supposed to be the white people of black people. Ain't that a bitch? Nah. I fight for our black sons, our black brothers, my black father, my black grandfathers and uncles and cousins. Because we the most attacked. Shine the light on them. How, Christine? Tell me how. When you can't even criticize a woman without getting your... Look, Christine, I'll give you a scenario. Let's say that you at work, okay? Let's say that you work at a McDonald's and a customer comes in off the street, all right? It's not just you there, right? You working up at the front counter, but there's other people working there. And you and this customer get into some words, right? Maybe they asking for something that you can't provide or whatever the case may be, right? But the customer gets heated. Now, out of nowhere, this customer reaches across the motherfucking counter and snatches you up. Now, Christine, I don't know you, but I know sisters, and it's likely that you may start to deliver some of them hands. All right? Now, all chaos is breaking loose. Ain't nobody at work expecting to be attacked, let alone watch somebody, be scrapping, right? So there's chaos that ensues, okay? But luckily, you escape any major harm, no foul, and thank goodness for that. But it just so happens that somebody was there filming this shit. And they put it up on social media, as is our want. You know the narrative that's going to get told? The narrative ain't the narrative that I just told, that y'all all were at work, right? And this customer came in and lost motherfucking control and reached over and physically accosted you. It ain't going to be that you defended yourself, right? And rightfully so. No, that's not going to be the narrative. Especially if there was anything black and male in there. What the narrative is going to be is not, thank you. Thank you. Shout out to you, CRU, man. I appreciate the donation, brother. I appreciate that. The narrative will then become, not that this bastard came in there and assaulted an employee. It ain't going to be the narrative where we talk about workplace safety, right? Where we talk about how it is that you can have an environment where an employee could be attacked on their job and physically accosted. Nope, that's not going to be the narrative. The narrative is going to be, look at those no good ass niggas that let Sister Christine get fucked up like that. That man was just able to reach over the counter and just do whatever he wanted to her. And they just let her. As if each one of them motherfuckers is also trained in combat, in de-escalation of hostile situations. Instead of being minimum wage employees flipping burgers at a burger joint. We can't shine no light on y'all. No light in any way that's negative. Y'all are sacred cows. That's a hard motherfucking bite to chew. But the black woman is a sacred cow. You simply cannot, as a black man, in good conscience, anywhere where you expect to keep a platform for very long, say anything that might be deleterious about them. Nothing. It doesn't matter, the most innocuous goddamn situations somehow or another get turned into the black man done it. Because didn't that shit just happen with that young sister who got accosted by that customer at that McDonald's? All I heard all over social media was, them niggas ain't shit. They sat there and watched that sister get attacked by that white man. They just let white men do whatever they want to us. Them boys look younger than a motherfucker, and not a one of them looked like they was trained. Jazz said, can you explain why someone like Tommy has so much support from white people even? I got my ideas. I won't say I can explain it, but I will say that I have an idea. It could be that not everything he's saying is bullshit. I'm not going to go out on a limb here and say I support everything Tommy Sotomayor says. That's his channel. That's his platform. He says sometimes shit that I just be like, what the fuck? And I'm not even saying, well, hell, Elias, black people hate black people in general. Part of the problems we got is because everybody's trying to run away from blackness. It don't matter where you from in the world. You could be from the motherland, you could be from another diasporan country, or you could be a descendant of slaves here. Everybody's running away from blackness. Don't nobody want to be black when it's time to be black. So that saying that means water's wet, sky's blue, grass is green, right? Cease, have at it. If you can explain it, explain it. I say that perhaps there's some elements of truth to what he's talking about, because I can't explain his popularity otherwise. I actually used to watch Tommy Sotomayor way back in the day. I actually used to watch the brother back in the day, right? Tommy is selling black pain and white folks eat it up. But ask yourself this question. If we wasn't out here doing each other dirt, what would Tommy have to sell? Sure, white folks is gonna always want to watch a motherfucking dumpster fire. Everybody wants to watch a dumpster fire. Man, look at that shit. That shit burning up like a motherfucker. Woo, them fires is big. Right? Everybody wants to watch a motherfucking train wreck. But if we driving the train straight on the tracks at the proper speed, the proper motherfucking, power and all of that stuff, and there's no train wreck, well, who's going to stand there and watch that shit? Facts. Right? If we not putting the shit out there, Tommy got nothing to sell. That's just facts. You know what? Jazz, I'm going to tell you. I could disagree with Tommy right down the line. And for the most part, I do disagree with him on quite a bit of shit. There's some things I have found myself in agreement with the brother on. All right? But I love the motherfucking fact that he about his hustle. I'm just saying, white people money spend too. Christine, let me ask you a question. Do you have kids? Because I'm sorry, Christine, I'm not familiar with you. I appreciate your support and viewing the broadcast. So I wanted to say that right off the bat. But I'm not familiar with you. So I'm just asking you some general questions here, if you don't mind answering. Do you have children? While I wait for your answer there, the reason why I'm asking is this. If you have children, right? So you got more than one. I have multiple children. There is one thing that my children can never say to me that I'm going to go with. Oh, that's what's up, right? Shout out to the Gray Regime. And big ups to Sister Christine. That's what's up. Okay, so sister, then you'll vibe on where I'm about to come from, all right? You come to your kids, and these little nigglets have been raiding the motherfucking cookie jar again. Now, you don't know which one of them or if it was all of them that did it, right? So you got some investigating to do, all right? So after you do your questioning, right, your due diligence before you deliver the wrath that is Mama Christine on that ass, right? What if you find out that it was the youngest one that ate the cookies? You'd be like, all right, I done told you motherfuckers not to eat the cookies. And your youngest one's defense is that, well, the big one ate cookies too. You're not going to accept that from them. You'll be like, no. Your little motherfucking ass ate these cookies. You about to catch this work. All right? I still do not understand why it is, why the dynamic exists that often when brothers bring up topics that are apropos to their experience, that one of the first things that occurs is, well, y'all do something similar or y'all do it too. As if the fact that there are brothers that might do such and such and so on and so negates the fact that it's an issue. Right? Because with the whole y'all do it too, like the whole tit for tat type of thing, that's not conducive to actually fixing the issue. I'm not saying you're doing this. I'm just saying it's another observation that I've noticed. That rather than addressing the issue, because I will be the first one to tell you there's a lot of issues that are mutual between us, that both brothers and sisters got some work to do on. First of all, brothers need to tell the truth more often. We lie too motherfucking much. We lie way too much on way too many subjects. Niggas is so used to lying that you can it's almost cliche. It's almost cliche that how can you tell when a brother is lying? Because his mouth is moving. We lie about every motherfucking thing. But we lie about some motherfucking real important shit. Like, are we happy? We lie like a motherfucking rug. Do we like you? Lie like a motherfucking rug. Is everything okay? Lie like a motherfucking rug. We lie about some really important shit. We lie about some real fucked up shit. Are you okay with what I just did? Yeah, baby, it's cool. Lies. In his heart of hearts, he's screaming in there that he's cussing your ass up one side of the house and down the other one. Now, I'm not condoning that he do that, but I am condoning that he should probably tell you, nah, that's some fucked up ass shit you did. See, in point of fact, to all the ladies out there that think that I'm going hard in the paint on y'all, I actually want to work with the brothers. I want to work with the brothers to start telling motherfuckers the truth. I want us to stop lying. I want us to stop lying to ourselves. I want us to stop lying to y'all. And I want us to stop lying to the motherfucking world. Because brothers tell lie after lie after lie. That's what I want. I want some motherfucking truth for a change. I want to be able to see things be called what they are. I want situations to be called out for what they are. I want my experience to be validated. Especially when I have the evidence to support what it is that I'm saying. That's facts. So yeah, Christine, I want brothers to tell the truth more. Y'all sisters are going to be what y'all going to be. And we got a lot of good sisters out there that are trying to keep a lot of motherfuckers accountable. I don't know how the hell y'all doing it. I don't know how y'all wake up every day and do it. Because goddamn it, I sometimes despair. I'm going to share with y'all one last lesson that I learned in year 45. Because y'all have been super fucking sweet, super patient to me. And I appreciate the love and support. Y'all are the dopest. The most important lesson that I think I've learned in 45, right? In the 45th year of my existence on this little blue dust ball. The most important lesson is this. The most important thing that I've learned is that social media is not real life. Oh, man, let me tell you. I'm going to tell you. So many of us, we got it bad. We wake up in the morning and we reach over and we grab our pocket computer. And the first thing we do, Facebook. Let's see what's going on. Right? Let's see what's going on Facebook. Now, those of us who are relatively tech savvy and or has somebody turn us on to it also fuck around on Twitter. Right? Maybe you get up and you make yourself a dope ass breakfast. So you grab your pocket computer, selfie of the good ass eggs and shit that you made, the souffle that you made for breakfast. That is for you motherfuckers out there to know how to cook. On your way out the door, you IMing somebody. And then when you're done IMing them, if you're taking the bus, if you're lucky, right? Because bus up here where I'm at is great. I'd rather take the bus than the drive. If you're taking the bus, you're watching a YouTube video. On your lunch, you go pop your shit in the microwave, and then you got to check on Facebook to see the updates for the fuckery or the wild shit, the crazy madness that happened when you woke up this morning. You want to see the updates on that shit. While you're on Facebook, somebody referred you to a World Star video, so now you're going to look at that shit. Because, you know, World Star! Then on your last break, you hit up Twitter one more time. Then it's the commute home. And you IMing on the way home and or texting. Sit down. Maybe you have some dinner. Maybe you cook something. Right? Then you watch some more YouTube videos or maybe a Netflix. But while you watching your Netflix video, you on Facebook talking about the motherfucking video you watching on Netflix. And then you go to sleep. And because of the ubiquity, look at the fuck up, of social media in your life every day, so many of us have started to think that social media is life. Well, Mark Black is here to tell you that when you sit that little pocket computer down, right, and you turn off the screen on your computer, and you take the motherfucking headphones off, and you take a deep breath, and you look around you, that's real life. That's where it all counts. That's where all the chips need to be. The people that's in your presence, that's where your efforts go. That's where your love be. Right? The folk that you talk to on the way to the grocery store or standing in line, that's real life. What a bunch of motherfuckers is saying, including myself, on Facebook or Facebook or on YouTube or whatever, that's not real life. Sure, I try to give you shades of my real life when I talk to you. I want you to know me, and I want to get to know you, right? But I am something that you're currently seeing is made up of ones and zeros. It's not the reality of your brother Mark Black. The little avatars that I see here in the chat, that's not the reality of you. Sister Christine, Brother Elias, Sister Jazz, Brother CRU, the Elder Ibmore, BGS, right? That's not the reality of you. I want us to take the lesson learned this year by your brother Mark Black and get back involved in real life. You know that motherfucker that you texted 15 times today? When's the last time you actually went and saw them and just sat in their presence, smelled them, ate some food with them, laughed at they goofy ass outfits they wear, and talk about the shit you always love to talk about with them? When's the last time you did that? How many of your so-called Facebook friends and followers and fans on Instagram are people that you've actually reached out and touched, that you put hands on, skin-to-skin contact? You know, that shit we hairless apes need for our very existence. How many of them people have you had the capability or even the opportunity to do that with? How many of your favorite YouTubers have you actually got to meet in the flesh or even talk to over the phone? I would love to have an audience of motherfuckers who would call me and talk to me. Just to hear y'all voice every day would give me juice. When's the last time you spoke over the phone with your favorite YouTuber? Nigga, this shit ain't real life. All these people got all these opinions about what and who you are and how you operate and how you should think and how you should act and who you should act with and so on and so forth. And then when all of that is done, when you're done hearing the ranting and hearing the raving and hearing the fuckery and hearing the drama and hearing the bullshit, I promise you, you can sit this goddamn pocket computer the fuck down and be immediately immersed in real life. And the best part about it is that as long as your ass is black and breathing, you can have as much of that real life as you want. It is always available for you 24/7. Real life is available when you wake up in the morning at 2 in the morning with insomnia and you're staring up at the ceiling and then you roll over and you kiss the motherfucker next to you. That's real life like a motherfucker. If for all of you lucky motherfuckers out there that got brand new babies, tell me that real life ain't sweet to you when you hold that little motherfucker in your arms and you smell the milk on their breath and you put your hand on their chest just to feel their chest rise and fall. You tell me that real life ain't sweeter than a motherfucker. Beat social media all goddamn day. Tell me it ain't real life when your favorite pet run up on you with their tail wagging or purring and sit right in your lap or put their paw in your lap begging for a treat. You know, real life. Tell me it ain't real life when you had the dopest conversation with a motherfucker you just met in the line at the grocery store. Y'all sitting there laughing about some shit you saw on the front cover of one of these lame-ass magazines that they sell up in the front. You know, real life. I'm telling you a God's honest truth. That I would give up social media tomorrow to have even the smallest modicum of real life. Tomorrow. Facebook be gone. Instagram be gone. Y'all niggas talking about MySpace. I ain't gonna front. I used to have a MySpace. And my shit used to look dope too. So fuck y'all. I used to have glitter and everything on that shit. Like, y'all couldn't fuck with my MySpace page. This nigga was ill. I learned a little bit of HTML code and shit. Oh my God. I was killing the MySpace game. You would have swore I was the biggest nigga, the biggest pimp walking. My shit was dope. I would have gave it up for real life. Family. Year 46 for Mark Black is going to be more truth, more reality, more real life, and more sharing it with you as best I'm able through this medium. More hard topics and discussion, more yelling sometimes, more tears, more smiles, more joy. But trying to translate as much of this real motherfucking life through this medium known as YouTube as I possibly can inject into it. That's what 46 is come. That's what year 46 is going to be for your man. Happy birthday to me. May I live 1,000 years, but if and I don't know that I love you 1,000 years, black people. God damn it, sometimes I can't stand you, but I love the shit out you. My world wouldn't be shit without you. And I don't even know who half of you motherfuckers are. Them's the lessons from 45. Some of them I should have learned earlier. But you know, I'm a little slow. You know, not the sharpest tack in the box. It take me a little bit to grasp some shit. But I learned some good ass lessons this year. Some painful things. Some to give me impetus to do more work in the year 46 of my life. All right? But a lot of good shit. Thank you, family. Thank you for just being you. Black people don't hear that enough from each other. We think we all fucked up. Yeah, we got some fucked upness, but we got some all rightness too, goddammit. And I'm telling you, right now, at this moment, with your man Mark Black, you all right. You all right with me. I don't give a fuck what they say about you. I love you, family. Thank you for ringing in my birthday with me. Now, let's talk about some birthday presents, Snookers. Hit that link. I love y'all, family. Thank you so much for listening to me chop. Sister Christine, don't be a motherfucking stranger. Sister Jazz, mwah. Brother Elias, you feel me? CRU, right? The Elder BGS, as always, much respect, brother, and salute to you. All right? Who else was in here? Let me shout out. Cease, the cook extraordinaire. Nigga, I want my barbecue. Don't be bullshitting. All right? My brother Cease, Officer Faulkner, woo, 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 coming to get him. And everybody who catches Brother Dave Tao, everybody who catches on the upload, watch it, thumbs up. If you hate it, thumbs down. Share the shit. Let's get us 100 subs here in the next couple of weeks. We close, family. I'm sitting at somewhere around 72 subs. We could break that 100 mark, but I need y'all to do it. Teamwork makes the dream work. Sister Denny, shout out to y'all. And to all of you, I'm going to finish this and close this out the way I always do, by wishing you love, peace, prosperity, and power. Real power to our people.